All right, in this video, we're looking at solving equations that have mostly just variables, and we're solving the equation for a particular variable. In this case, for example A, they're asking us to solve A equals P times 1 plus RT for T. So let's go ahead and try to do that. So first thing you want to do is distribute to get rid of the parentheses. So we'll have P times 1, which is going to give you P, and then P times RT, which is going to give you PRT. And that's still equal to A on the left. Now from here, remember we're trying to isolate T, so we want to get anything that's not directly attached to a T moved to the other side by using the addition property of equality. So we'll subtract this P away from both sides. And when you're done with that, of course the P's will cancel out. You'll end up with A minus P on the left equals to PRT. Now from there, we want to use the multiplication property of equality to get rid of the PR that's attached to T with multiplication. So we'll divide by PR on the right and then PR on the left. Now, of course, they'll cancel here on the right, and you finally just have a statement that says T is equal to A minus P over PR. You might be tempted to cancel out these P's like this, but remember you cannot do that because the P here is not multiplied by A. It's subtracting from A. You'd have to factor out a P in order to be able to cancel. We can't do that here, so our answer is just what we have here on the left. All right, so let's look at the next one. The next one here is example B, and they're asking us to solve S equals A over 1 minus R for R. So let's first try to clear the fraction from the equation. What we're going to do then is we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by the common denominator, 1 minus R. So if I multiply S by 1 minus R, I'll have 1 minus R times S on the left, and then I'll have on the other side A times 1 minus R all over 1 minus R. The reason why that's helpful is because then the 1 minus R on the right-hand side will cancel with the 1 minus R, and we'll end up just having 1 minus R times S is equal to A. Now, of course, we can rewrite that as S times 1 minus R, if you want, is equal to A. And then we can remove the parenthesis by using the distribution property. The reason why we want to do that is because we're solving for R, and to get R isolated, we're going to have to remove the parentheses. So we'll use the distribution property to do that. So we'll have S times 1, which of course will just give you S, and then S times negative R, which of course will give you negative S times R, and that'll just be equal to A. Now remember, our goal is to get the R by itself, so we're going to try to remove things that are attached to R or on the same side of the equation with R to the other side. So I'm going to use the addition property of equality to get rid of this positive S. I'm going to subtract off negative S from both sides of the equation, right? And that'll end up having the S's cancel out, and I'll end up having negative S times R is equal to just A minus S. All right, so we've used the addition property of equality. Now we need to get rid of this S that's multiplying the R, right? Now it's S, negative S times R, so to get rid of the S, we'll just divide both sides by the negative S. And we'll do that both to the left and the right-hand side. And when we're done with that, we end up having just that R is equal to A minus S over negative S. Now that's a perfectly suitable answer, but I think most people prefer to rewrite it so that that negative sign is not in the denominator. So I think most people prefer to put the negative out in front and then write it as A minus S over S. And you might even want to distribute the negative in. That's perfectly suitable too. You can actually say negative times A, which will give you negative A, and then negative times the negative S is going to give you positive S over S. So that would be perfectly suitable. And then personally for me, I would do this. I know this is a lot of just rewriting it, but I like to write the final statement with the positive sign leading. So I'll have plus S minus A over S. And I think that's probably the cleanest way to write your answer at the end.